Witchcraft has long been associated with fear, mystery and persecution, as well as being a deeply unfairly gendered concept, often having been used as a tool to control or oppress women. For centuries, societies across the world have targeted individuals, mainly women, with accusations of witchcraft, leading to cruel trials, barbaric punishments, and even executions. Some historians have even put the number as high as 60,000 women across Europe alone. Within my video essay, I plan to explore the feminist side of witchcraft, looking at why women were the primary targets of witch accusations, as well as question the overall history behind witches. My exploration will reveal deep gender biases, societal fears, and the evolving perception of witches as both villains and symbols of empowerment. Additionally, I will be analysing John William Waterhouse's The Magic Circle and Doreen Valiant's poem, The Witch's Root, both of which contribute to our understanding of how witches have been reimagined as figures of empowerment rather than being seen as villainous. Throughout history, witch hunts were overwhelmingly directed at women. Historical records have shown that approximately 75 to 80% of accused witches were female. The infamous European and American witch trials of the 16th to 18th century saw thousands of women executed, often under accusations of causing disease, infertility, or natural disasters. The infamous Malleus Maleficarum, a 15th century widely known manual of witch hunting, directly linked witchcraft to women, claiming that they were more susceptible to the devil's influence due to their supposed inherent weakness and emotional instability. This document fueled widespread persecution, reinforcing the idea that women who defied patriarchal expectations were dangerous. This incredibly sexist act can be understood as a male reaction to female independence, only heightening the separation of men and women throughout history, always unequal. Many of the women accused of witchcraft were healers, midwives, or widows, women who challenged traditional patriarchal values by existing outside the male control. Their valuable knowledge of medicine and nature was wrongfully seen as unnatural and dangerous. The witch trials essentially became a way to reinforce gender hierarchies, ensuring that women who defied societal norms were silenced or punished. Fear of the witch has indeed evolved over time, once reflecting cultural fears about women's power. In medieval and Renaissance Europe, witches were depicted as haggard old women, a representation to reinforce the idea that female independence was unnatural and threatening. During the 18th century, however, Romantic artists reimagined the witch, portraying her as a mysterious and seductive figure, rather than merely a demonic one. This shift reflected both a fascination with and a fear of the femme fatale, a seductive and enchanting woman, acting outside male control, set to manipulate and destroy the lives of any man she became romantically involved with. John William Waterhouse's The Magic Circle is a striking example of how the image of the witch was transformed in Victorian-era art. Unlike the grotesque witches of early centuries, Waterhouse's witch is a beautiful, powerful woman, deeply engaged in a magical ritual. She stands tall and commanding, drawing a circle on the ground with a wand. Her long flowing robes and dark, intense gaze suggest wisdom and control rather than malevolence. Surrounding her are symbols of mystical power, smoke, ravens, and flames. This reinforces her connection to nature and the supernatural. The piece does not evidently sexualize women in the way some of his other works do, but it does contribute to the wider artistic trend of portraying women as low figures. In contrast to this, many of Waterhouse's other paintings depict women in a more seductive light, reinforcing the femme fatale archetype. Two examples of this include Hylas and the Nymphs and Circe offering the cup to Ulysses. The Magic Circle instead focuses upon independent women who exist outside traditional societal norms. While the witch is portrayed as captivating, the painting's emphasis is on her wisdom and magical abilities rather than her desirability. From a feminist perspective, the Magic Circle reclaims the image of the witch as a figure of strength and knowledge rather than one of evil and corruption. The witch in the painting appears to be in control of her power, embracing her abilities rather than being punished for them. Waterhouse's painting reflects a large shift in attitude towards women, aligning with the late 19th century fascination with the occult and spiritualism, which often provided women with new roles as mediums and seers, delving beyond the barriers of life. Doreen Valiant, a key figure in modern Wicca, wrote The Witch's Room as a chant celebrating the power and unity of witches. The poem is filled with imagery of movement, rhythm, and strength, reinforcing the idea of witches as active agents of change rather than passive victims. The witch's rune is significant to feminism from how it presents witches as not fate or evil figures, but as proud practitioners of magic. The poem celebrates witchcraft as having to be embraced rather than hidden, which contrasts sharply with the long historical oppression of accused witches. Valiant's work aligns with feminism, reclaiming the witch as a symbol of female empowerment, challenging the narrative that a woman with power is dangerous or unnatural. Furthermore, the emphasis on collective power in the witch's rune is in reference to the unity of the coven, and the rhythm of the chant highlights the communal aspect of witchcraft that has historically been suppressed. Witch trials often depicted accused women as isolated individuals working with the devil, but in Valiant's version, which is a part of a strong, interconnected sisterhood. This shift mirrors broader feminist movements that emphasize solidarity and shared strength among women. Within my video essay, I have used audio from the song Witch's Rune by S.J. Tapper, as it is heavily inspired by the poem. The lyrics match us perfectly with that of the original poem. In recent decades, folklore and modern culture began to intertwine. For example, in the case of the Lancashire witches, one of the most notorious instances of witchcraft in English history, as suggested by William Harrison Ainsworth in his 1876 novel The Lancashire Witches, witch folklore, specifically in Lancashire, mediated with tourism from Lancashire's numerous witch-themed walking and drive-in trails. The inclusion of tourism in modern culture has almost defined how a location will be remembered. Overall, it is believed that folklore belongs to those of a space, place, territory and belonging. For example, Cornwall is known for mermaids and giants, whilst Lancashire is known for their witches. The Lancashire witch case began when a young girl named Alison Device cursed a rude peddler for refusing to sell her some pins. When he collapsed, now diagnosed as a stroke, he accused her of witching him with witchcraft, deeming her a witch. This led to the trials and death of 12, mainly by hanging, the chosen execution method at the time in Lancashire. This later led to the battle between desire to believe in magic and the attempt at rationality, a battle that is still ongoing. In conclusion, the historical persecution of witches reveals so much about societal fears of female independence and power. Witch trials were not just about superstition, they were a way to enforce gender roles and patriarchal dominance. Over time, however, the image of the witch has evolved from a symbol of danger to one of empowerment. Waterhouse's The Magic Circle exemplifies this transformation in art, offering a vision of the witch as a figure of knowledge and authority. Similarly, Valiant's The Witch's Rune reclaims the identity of the witch, celebrating female power rather than condemning it. By examining witchcraft through a feminist lens, we can better understand how gender has shaped history, and how the witch continues to be a powerful symbol of resistance today. Whether through historical trials, artistic depictions, or modern poetry, the witch remains a figure that challenges authority and reclaims female strengths. Earth my body, water my blood, air my breath, and fire my spirit.
Dark sunlight and shining moon, balance of the dark and light. Hearken ye, O witch's rune, as we perform our sacred rite. By earth and water, air and fire, by blade and bowl and circle round, we come to you with our desire. Let all that is hidden now be found. With censer, candle, book and sword, and ringing of the altar bell, we tie a knot within our cord to bind our magic in a spell. Mother of the summer fields, goddess of the silver moon, join with us as power builds, dance with us our witch's rune. Father of the summer dew, hunter of the winter winter snows. With open arms we welcome you. Dance with us as power grows. Dance with us, our witches rune. Dance with us, our witches rune. Dance with us, our witches rune. Mother of the summer fields, goddess of the silver moon, join with us as power builds. Dance with us, our witches rune.